Good morning. In the world where they thought like India would be far too behind in the digital world, India has yet proven that we are not very far in using what we so called as a digital world. But with great powers comes great responsibilities. There's also a lot of things happening related to cyber security, and just for the common man, how to make it easy and to understand what cyber security threats are. We have with us Swapneel Patnekar, founder of Shrestha IT. Hi, Swapneel.
Hello, Kiran. Good to be here.
Swapneel, could you please introduce yourself to us?
Right. So my name is Swapneel. I am the CEO and founder of Shrestha IT. We are a company based out of Belgaum, primarily in information security. However, information security or cyber security, as it is called, is a very broad field, and we primarily focus on have been focusing on network security for a very long time. And apart from my day job, I primarily look at investigating malicious domain names, that is fake domain names or domain names that are primarily used for abuse, right? And try to report it to authorities so that it can be taken down. So really glad to you, Kiran, as well as Uday, for organizing this, because I think information security in the context of everyone, every citizen who is using the internet, the awareness is a very important topic, and the more awareness there is, I think the better security hygiene or cyber security hygiene that will primarily be there with everyone. So thank you.
Yes. Swapneel, let me start with the first question itself. Swapneel, as you know, right from the school-going kid to the adult at home, maybe any age, everybody has their social media accounts, emails. Now, how do we secure these accounts? In like as a layman, if you can make me understand, please.
Sure. So to answer your question, probably I will slightly go on a different tangent. And one of the elements which I want to point out is I hear a lot of times people talking about that, I don't have anything sensitive in my Facebook account, I don't have anything sensitive or confidential in my, let's say, Google or whatever web account they might be using, Instagram, whatever it is. I think that's a logical fallacy, because in the context of threats per se, identity theft is a very huge aspect. And what do I mean by that is I'll give probably an example of identity theft. In the last at least not less than 6 months, I have people have reached out from different parts of the city as well as in and around cities, especially tier 2 cities,
Okay.
where they have reported that somebody logged into their Facebook account. Maybe they got the password or whatever it is, and after getting the password of the account, they logged in and sent messages to their friends, right? So what do I mean by that is, say for example, put yourself in a situation where in the night somebody logs into your Facebook account and send messages to your friends saying that I am in need of money because my parents are admitted for COVID.
Yes.
And please, donate whatever you can. Now, one of the first things you have to realize is the first instinct is you'll call that person, right? Your friend, whoever it is. Hey, how can I help, right? And you'll also want to confirm that this is actually the fact. But one of the things that people don't realize is, now everyone is trying to call that person, right? Which means that the number is busy, which again gives another element of doubt in everyone saying, hey, maybe that person is really struggling and he's calling a lot of people, so his number is busy. Let me at least help him out and donate some few thousand rupees and ease whatever way I can. So this is the kind of attack that exists in the context of the logical fallacy that nothing is important or I don't have anything to hide. I think when you're on the internet, irrespective of whether you have data or not, it is very imperative that you protect your accounts, you protect your data, Doesn't matter whether it is sensitive, confidential at all, because the consequences are huge. And these consequences are not only in the context of your account, these consequences are also in the context of other people as well, right? So your near and dear ones, they may get scammed because of your lack of a cyber security hygiene. So it's very important that each and everyone, using anything on the internet, follows certain best practices, right? So I hope that is one element. In the context of how do you secure your accounts, I think one of the things that I will recommend to begin with is to use something called as two-factor authentication or two-step verification.
Okay.
So it is also called as 2FA, two-factor authentication or two-step verification. And sorry for being technical in this context, because these are all technical jargons, but I'll hopefully try to simplify in whatever best way I can. So what is meant by two-factor authentication is the fact that apart from your password, in order to log in into your account, you will need another code so that you can access the account. So an attacker, say for example, if they obtain your password, they will not be able to log in into your account unless and until they also have this additional code, right? This code is called as the two-factor, the second factor to allow login, right?
So if you can, sorry to interrupt you. So if you can just share the screen and we can see.
Sure. Let me see if I can. I think the screen is already shared.
Yeah, 1 minute. I should just add it here. Okay.
Share screen, kar.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm hoping that all of you are able to see my screen. What I've done is I have logged in into a Gmail account. I'm waiting for confirmation so that the screen is visible. So this is
yes.
So this is a Gmail account, and what I've done is this is a test Gmail account that has been created primarily in the context of demonstrating what is meant by two-factor authentication. And the way I can do this is, once you log in into your Google or Gmail, if you click on the right hand side top corner, right, usually there is an icon which has your name.
You can just show, right.
Right.
So you can see the arrow.
Yeah, exactly. So there is an icon which on the right hand side top corner, which in my case the account name is Swapneel, so it starts with an S. So if you click on this, you will see something called as manage your Google account.
Okay.
Right? You click on this, and what will happen is it will open another tab, another window, which has a lot of options there. And the one we are very specifically wanting to get to is the option called as security, right?
Security.
And under security, if you scroll a little towards the middle of the page, you have something called as two-step verification. So this is, again, there are different companies or organizations. Some of them call it as two-step verification. Some of them call it as two-factor authentication. End of it, it is the same, right? And what we want to do is we want to enable two-step verification. So you click on this. It'll ask you that, this is what two-step verification is about. Let's get started. I hope the demo gods are with me today. Right. So what it will do is it will now ask me for my password, and the reason why it will do that is primarily to confirm that I have access to the account. And let me quickly copy the password. So this is an additional step that you will encounter. So even though you might say that I've already logged in into account, why is Google asking me to put my password? The reason why it is doing that is primarily because it is verifying that you actually have access to the account, right? Now there are multiple options available here. One, the first option that you see is a text message as well as phone call. But I will probably point you to an additional option which is hidden. So if you click on show more options, you have an option called as Google Prompt. This is the option which I think and I highly recommend that you choose, Text message or phone call is also great, but in case if you do not have access to the network, like let's say you are in a zone where you don't have any network coverage at all, so in that case what will happen is that SMS code from Google will not reach you, right? So Google prompt, or this method is much more useful, and I'll show you how. So when you do this,
now, Swapneel, what I understand is the most important part over here is please link your social accounts with the phone number that you are using presently.
Not only the phone number, but there is an app called as, so in this case there are multiple apps, but I'll as a simple case I'll talk about an app called as Google Authenticator.
Okay.
So this app is basically shows you the codes.
Okay.
Right? And these codes are the OTP codes which exist. Right?
Okay. Okay, great.
Right. So the usefulness of using OTP codes using the app called as Google Authenticator, why it is useful over SMS or phone call, as I mentioned, is the fact that assuming that you don't have network coverage, then that is going to be a problem, right?
Okay.
So this is where it primarily helps.
Okay.
Right? So this is,
so again it says,
yeah, so first time it will ask you to primarily verify this information by sending a text message or a code. Okay. So once you do that, you will be able to add the option which is Google Authenticator. So on my phone, let me see if I can
share your screen on the.
No, this is going to be just the codes which I can primarily enter, and then I'll show you the actual demo. 120435. Technically speaking, you should not be doing this live on, because this is all sensitive information, to be honest. But having said that, this is a test account that I have.